TSG. The other season is done with no prospects of getting into the LTA. The LRN Seed 2 versus the NACL Seed 2. Game 5, we see the Ribbon ban and the Poppy and the Maokai ban from Estral, who chose blue side, or at least are on blue side this time around again. We see the Rumble, the Talia ban, like normal, from Conviction on the red side.
Yeah, I will say I really like the Maokai ban, especially towards Perryy. He's very partial toward that champion. I think something you would definitely be looking for in this late game scenario, considering the amount of junglers no longer in the picture yet. It perfectly sets up the Vi as well. So now we got to see what else Perryy will want to play in this spot.
This is what I've been really liking from Estral is they have really been using the draft to manipulate what they get later on. We see so many picks that they ban away in certain ports picked up by them later in the series, and this is one of them that was banned away last game, not wanting to give that one over to Conviction. This time around, though, we'll see what Conviction have in store for us, what they want to save that counter pick for, and how they're going to use it as the Mundo comes through. This was, at least for, Dardock in Co on the NACL side of things, was a nice jungler there, but some flexibility, and the Alistar that had been banned away from Winsome multiple times this series.
Yeah, already Conviction's comp is looking pretty unkillable past a certain point. Once you get a few items on Mundo, once you get level 11 on Alistar, especially with the amount of hyper carries already out of the picture. No Kaisa, no Sivir, no Jinx, Corki, Tristana. So you're running out of DPS options. Azir is a good one.
It's been let through finally. It was banned away for a majority of this series.
Early we're picking Ziggs, that's why. Or Kog'Maw. That's why we're letting it through, right?
We'll see. You can see it on the players' faces. A little bit of tiredness sinking in. 5 games of tight competitive action will do that to you, but getting locked in for this potential final game. And exactly what they want to end out the first phase on. This is the board. It's the angle. Winsome picking out his comfort, at least on the Bard, was banned away from him earlier.
Yeah. You have, of course, you're going to have that double range bot lane, which will already give you an advantage since you're looking at Alistar. And does mean that now you have to really be careful about your carries. If you were thinking of like a Syndra, a Varus, and a Phelios, you're really going to have to think twice just because of that possibility of getting caught out by that Tempered Fate.
I wonder, okay, it's going to be a gauntlet thrown down. One of your favorites coming in. The Akali locked in here. Could be that mid lane for Viper.
Yeah, really nice. You are a little mobile, so not so easy to get caught with that Tempered Fate. And of course, the good matchup into the Azir. And it means whatever Ghost is playing, he's going to be really sad when Viper's on his street.
He absolutely is. We'll see exactly how that works out for them. What they want to grab, or Cody Sun in the bot lane in that second phase. Maybe saving some of this counter pick going for TFBlade if it ends up being the case. But in the second phase, we get the Orc ban by Conviction. See what the ban is going to be from Estral if they want to focus a little bit more on these top lanes or how they feel like this draft is going out for them.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, you know that Conviction just trying to set up what's probably going to be a counter pick for TFBlade on that R5. Just remove some pesky things they don't want to get, they don't want to see. And other than that, they could even look to go elsewhere if they want to remove an AD carry from Ghost's potential pool. This would be the game to get rid of Jhin, by the way.
It's a super comfort for Ghost, obviously.
Yeah,
Would love to see it locked in. It is a very good combo with the Bard as well, usually. If Conviction do get a read on that, God, how awesome would it be that, game 5 Ghost pulls that?
Plays the
It'd
Jhin.
be insane.
He picks it on 4, by the way.
We do see the Gnar band, so the Jin's still open. But they are focusing on that top side matchup, and the Tryndamere was that second phase ban from Estral. We'll see what their final ban and the final ban of this series is going to be.
Wondering, want to get rid of another top pick there for TFBlade. Maybe, I don't think tank is necessarily the route he might go, so there's a lot of things that they could be looking at. Really, what I'm most curious about is what's Ghost going to be locking in there? What AD carry are we seeing from Cody Sun as well?
Not from Cody Sun. Anyways, it is the Mordekaiser band, so they're definitely hyper focusing on some of these top lane matchups, expecting that Mundo to be in that jungle like we've seen.
Yep.
And we'll see what that counter pick ends up being left for Conviction, or who rather it's going to be left for. As maybe get a little bit of spice in this final game with all the bans ahead of time from Fearless is locked in the Unara. You saw Stunt get a little bit animated there as well, but this was something that was banned away from them for a majority of the split itself. Obviously, it was very strong when it first came out, but stayed a pretty consistent ban against them.
Oh, is it real? Oh, less fun, but I guess. You do need some scaling on the side of Estral, or some more, I suppose. Actually, I'm not really a big fan of the smolder, just because I think you're giving up too much control over the game. Because
Yeah, I agree.
you're just not going to be able to. You have an Azir who wants to scale. It really is going to depend for me what top lane ends up being, but you have a Azir who wants to scale already. Now you have the Smolder who's really just looking for this hard line, 225 stacks, which usually means you give up a lot of early Drakes. So depending on how it's set up, Conviction could get a pretty early Dragon Soul. I do like Camille.
This is a pretty powerful pick for Summit himself as well, but it's going to put a lot of onus on him for the resources. I gotta say, the setup right now, though, and like the CC chaining that Estral have is immense. Like, it is very powerful, and that's what I think they're buying into here, which is nice to see.
Oh, it's sorry, I was saying Garen. It's actually not good. It's Camille.
The Olaf?
Ooh, that would be fun.
Okay.
Okay, it's the Olaf. So, I mean, that one is going to end up working. Those long trades are really nice for you because he sustained a lot and you can ignore CC.
It's cool to also see, just to harp on it for Conviction a little bit, some of the learnings and pick up some of the NACL battles on the scarred on their chest, right? The bouts with Dardox Mundo in the jungle, the bouts with Quacker's Olaf, all coming through. The ghosts of the past for Conviction coming through here in these games, and it's really nice to see from them from that red side to go with still a comp that feels centered on how they want to play.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It's really interesting to see the Unara, how much she's fallen in priority. Was nerfed, but also mid patch got a bit of a buff because Riot's probably like, oh, too hard. Bring her back up. So you also kind of have a similar win con there with the Smolder. Not something so well defined as 225, but you're waiting for 2-3 items before you really start to hit hard. So any way you can accelerate that as Conviction is going to be really important. Enable Cody Sun, kind of like they did in that last game.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a gunslinging battle. I can't wait to see, but it seems like Estral do have a good setup to get this Smolder to the promised land, if you will, with all the CC, all the kind of rebuttals they can lift up whenever Conviction go hunting. But this is a do or die game 5. This is it. This is everything of your entire year, your entire season. Everything that you've been building up to for these teams that came together for the split 2 to make it to this promotion tournament, to make it to LCS next year, to that tier 1. It's game number 5 between Estral Esports and Conviction. Winner goes on to face DSG.
Holy, how about that for our first series? Mazel already going to the distance, already going to game 5. With some pretty exciting champions to come through. I see no summoner spells had been blown. Nobody's rocking with anything too unusual. Nothing really spicy going on here.
Minions have spawned.
Okay, I will take some peace and quiet for a little bit before it gets too crazy here. We've had some very, very quick games across this series. Also some not quick games. Also some heart-pounding action in the last game. Hopefully we get a very contested game number 5. A couple picks that have been banned away for a majority of this series are going to come through, especially looking at Cody's Azir. And that's something that was hyper-focused on him during his split in LRN, but now also was focused very heavily in this series and those bans. Viper going at him with a traditional mid laner this time around. See which one comes out the better.
I mean, now, this is a champion that as a top laner, you probably have your fair share of experience on. It ends up working out for Viper here in this mid lane. Overall, a lot of what's been going on so far is kind of what we expect. Perryy is not looking to fight, not looking to do much. He wants to get through his first clear and second clear really without incident, unless like the most amazing gank of all time. Just falls into his lap.
Yeah.
You really just want to get that first item as Mundo starts stacking health if it's Heartsteel, and so that you can just scale.
And that's the counterpoint from SolidSnake is he can be very proactive on this buy. He's very skirmish heavy and loves to be in the thick of things, but is really a setup tool for the rest of the team as well. So that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. I think Estral's team play has been very nice to see comparatively to what we saw in their playoffs and all the togetherness we've seen in this series so far from them. But it will end up being the kind of opposite side finishes from both junglers, and we are getting an early move from Winsome on the Bard towards top.
Yeah, again, something he's very confident doing. Done it many times in the series. It's level 2, decides to leave. That's doubly so if you're playing the Bard. To start hunting for those times. Oh.
He knows. He sees
Do it. Don't do it.
The price they pay is unfortunately Ghost not having a great time in bot side. He did burn the flash, so that can be returned to. He will have to back and burn the TP as well. So he can get back out to lane, but the fact that Smolder doesn't have flash means that Estral are going to be on the back foot for the foreseeable future, at least from bot lane.
Yeah, and when it comes to objective fight, always going to be the case with this champion. So there's that opportunity for Conviction to just stack Drakes. Again, I remember during the NACL playoffs, very tilted when Smolder comp. Outside of crazy circumstances, get Drakes.
Oh, they maybe find a little combo here. He gets the healing coming through, though, from Winsome, and they rebuff the engage from Conviction yet again, finding something on the bot side.
Yeah, really nicely done there to be able to soak that up. It doesn't actually cost too much other than Perry's flash. Everybody gets to walk away as long as those backs aren't canceled, which, oh, they are canceled. So that actually makes it even more valuable. Does mean Ghost should be able to get that next wave in pretty easily, and I think even Cody Sun.
Oh my god, they're still gonna go. Okay, he wasn't able to get anybody else. He does keep Stunt locked in, but
oh, okay.
he's fine. No. I'm gonna try to get this wave in though from Estral as Stunt going in. Delay that as much as he can. Doesn't lose a little bit of a chunk. Can spellbook though. Potentially use his TP to get back to lane. It will be the cold start for Cody Sun. We know where that's headed. And he's trying to get that as much or as quickly as possible. Get that little bit of a gold spike. This giant wave here. I don't know if he's going to make it in time for the cannon. We'll see.
That's what matters.
It's going to be the biggest drama. Can he get there? He has the proc from Stunt, though, and he should be fine.
Oh, he got it.
End up getting it. There you go. He doesn't miss too much, though. He still will be behind just a tad from Ghost, who is getting another reset off.
Yeah, mental saved. Everything will be fine. So,
we're on a beach somewhere with a pina colada, you know, chilling. Or at the spa, because that's the
because that's the skin, right?
Yeah.
Also,
with the little chicken rocks.
I feel like we haven't looked at top lane enough. Oh, because okay, I see what happened. TFBlade forced the TP early, lost a lot of XP.
Yeah.
Summit has a whole level on it, which is very scary.
Which is not good. But he will be here. There's going to be the reset from Summit. He does have the TP to come back, though, so the pressure won't be relieved just yet. The Dragon had gone over pretty much on spawn just a little bit afterwards for Estral, so that'll be really nice for them because then they can readapt their focus up towards the grubs where SolidSnake will be finishing his pathing, really wanting to get to that level 6 mark to have that initial engage for Estral.
Attention in that mid lane. Viper hits level 6 ahead of Cody. I think he's going for a kill. No, it was
the Emperor's Divide out.
Yeah.
At least it's
really
something.
It is, and it looks like he didn't use the perfect execution, so it actually could be a kill if Cody isn't careful in a minute or two. Really?
Oh.
Oh.
TFBlade. Gotta find a way to get out of this one. Gonna pop a Ragnarok and try to go ham, but he ain't got no music singing his way this time. First blood to Summit. Meanwhile, we got the counterplay on bot side from Conviction. They do take down Winsome.
So that works out really nicely. Well, it's 1 for 1. So at least you get something for it. Cody Sun getting the kill is nice, but TFBlade is getting already to a point where he isn't going to be very valuable this game. And Summit, on the other hand, getting a lead is just going to be so big for this Camille because he can just get on top of Cody Sun like all the time. Stunt is going to have to push so much defense to make sure that Hextech Ultimatum is not the doom of Conviction's AD carry.
Gonna be one of the hardest parts. He does have Trinson oneself now, though, so does have a little bit more power in these engagements. You gotta look at those timings, although Perryy pushed out of his little gank angle he had. You do see SolidSnake, though, out on the map. The reset's going to try to come through from Conviction. Ghost upping the ante here on the bot side, trying to fight onto Stunt, get some of these stacks going for himself. As he will be stacking up. He's at 40 now. Feels good. Shout out to Production with a little mini counter there as well. But the big next thing is that Grubs is up, and the fact that Estral are not on that side of the map right now maybe signifies some of the lack of presence around that objective, but that will be the next fighting style that we get from both sides.
Yeah, I will say real quick, I just noticed that Estral did get first dragon as the Smolder team.
Yeah.
And that's
it was like
crazy
30 minutes after, or 30 seconds after spawn. Or like 40 seconds
minutes,
after
like,
spawn.
damn.
Yeah, that was wild. That'd be wild.
Yeah, well, good for Estral, Conviction. That's a see me in my office angle, but, you know, as long as they don't get any more dragons, it's kind of fine.
So now, that Grub fight, it's here, it's present, and first will be taken in the end by Conviction as Perryy stepped in. That will be the engage, though. The Ragnarok instantly pops. They're just going to fully CC, but they can't CC him, but take him down nonetheless. As Winsome ends up getting killed. Maybe not the person you want to get the gold there, but Natural Journey will not be used by Conviction to find an entrance. Viper's getting punched as Stunt goes in with the engage. Now Viper's looking for the puck for the execution, but he gets duped. As now that's going to be Estral fighting this team, but their comp succeeds around this, and you're giving Ghost so many stacks. It's going to be the fight 1-1 right now in Grub. SolidSnake trying to stick around. He does have the smite. He's going to step in, but can't get it. It's going to be secured in the end by Perryy. 2 for 1 in the Grub fight, but the kills, they rain down for Estral.
It costs so much to be able to secure that objective, and really, it wasn't worth it, Mazel. You lost 2 members. TFBlade's going to lose even more as a result of him dying in that situation. He's already lost so much this game, and you're going to see the gank that happened earlier, really not much else to say. The picture-in-picture is really what I'm interested in. Big wave in that turret. I think 2 plates is going to be secured there. And 4 Summit as well. Oh, he might die. Yeah, go live.
Going live, Summit's getting pressed on, and the top side does have Stunt coming out behind him too, and the shutdown ends up going to Perryy, so he gets some of that gold back.
Oh my god. Oh, wait.
Oh, they actually find TFBlade too. TFBlade fighting tooth and nail here. Gets the call down. TFBlade gets the outplay too. Gets the solo bolo onto SolidSnake. They did not have enough damage there to take him down. Now he's just running to try to get the execute here, but Winsome should be able to just chase him down. But giving the gold to Winsome is fine and dandy to me. They're going to give that over, and that'll be TFBlade finding a 1v2.
Wasting his time too, setting up this play onto Ghost. Again, that pressure pushing up while the rest of his team are confirmed to be elsewhere. It's going to turn into a kill, but any pressure is still good. Conviction getting a kill onto Cody Sun there, and an assist is pretty valuable for them. So they're answering back a little bit as this next dragon is coming off.
And the tempo does not stop. That's one thing we can hold dear in this series, as teams have been putting the pedal to the metal here. We do have first item completions coming through. More importantly, Perryy, he's going to have those dopamine rushes of the art steal coming through now as well on the Mundo.
Yeah, that's right. So you're going to hear that magical sound, and he's going to continue stacking up that health and becoming Mundo, as we all know.
Yeah, Mundo goes where he pleases, especially when he has business calls, and he's handling that business.
That's right. DP coming through as well from Stunt to make sure that SolidSnake thinks twice before bolt breakering over that wall.
I love the addition of Spellbook, man. It makes it so fun to see, and you know, some of those TP plays like that, making the pressure obvious from Conviction, who now are tied up 1-1 in Dragons there. And this has been the most contested game we've had in the series so far, Beat, and it's so fitting that it's the potential final game for one of these two teams.
That's right. Again, lives on the line, so both of these teams just putting it all out there to fight for another chance to make it into the LCS next year. What these teams are fighting for, to make it to that double elimination bracket so they can fight for that opportunity.
One game away from going on to face DSG, making it into that double elim like you were talking about. We do have first items coming up for majority members now. It's not just the Heartsteel for Perryy. And we will have some completions across the board, but a little bit of a quiet state for both these two teams. The super team versus the streamer team. And they wouldn't have it any other way with the story that these teams have had coming into this one, especially in this series, some of the rising stars that we've seen from both sides, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that you talk about players like SolidSnake and Cody from the region who have been looking really good this split. You have TFBlade again, his first year of competitive play, but looking so good. There's a lot to be excited about.
A little bit of Viper catch out there, and that's the power that SolidSnake wanted with this Vi, is you just cannot get away from the cease and desist, and you will be taken down.
I'm kind of curious how that play started. Viper almost got though. It doesn't matter in the end. Oh!
Tempered fake coming out there as Winsome saves the day for just a little bit, but unfortunately he sets himself up to be put straight in the meat grinder, as now Summit is trying to dodge away from the rest of Conviction, but Stunt is tanking beautifully, and that's going to be 2 quick kills for Conviction on the top side and the turret.
Yeah, they're going to win the race for first brick, and Ghost
the Eye of Ruin gets him from the distance, and Cody Sun flashes for the lethal kill onto Ghost. The sub for Conviction coming in big on the Yunara.
A very needed kill. Again, just keeping Ghost on the map. It's just like in game 1 on the Corki. Limiting his time, limiting his access to farm. Doubly valuable when you consider the Smolder passive stacks. And Cody, overstayed his welcome.
Gets the preemptive flash out there, respecting Viper on the Akali. We take a look back at that top lane play. Took a while, but they did get it.
And, you know, the delay was there, but it really just delayed the inevitable, kind of to the point where it's like, I don't know what you thought would happen, because Mundo and Alistar both with ult, you're just dead. You know, let it happen.
And I really think we're seeing the payoff of some of the draft, you know, card games that we were seeing here between the two, like banning away some things to keep it open, knowing that they aren't going to pick it next game, so you have another game to let it lie. You know, the fact that we have the Vi that made it through all the way for SolidSnake here, Ghost, or I mean, rather Cody on this Azir was a big ticket item in this series as a whole, but then you look over at Conviction's comp, you're like, man, they got Yunara. That was like constantly banned against them throughout a lot of their run here, as well as Stunt on this Alistar that had been kind of juggled from both teams being banned through this series.
Yeah. So now we're seeing it here. This is the comp that we land on in the final game. It's done.
The unbreakable will. His will shall not be broken.
Yeah.
But they will try to move that play. I think that's important to think of right ahead of the Rift Herald as well. Estral just want control.
Yeah. I mean, they have it. Now no unbreakable will means your chances of winning that fight, they go down quite a bit unless you get a really huge pick, which, I mean, not impossible. You can see the pressure that Estral are feeling right now. And it's worth considering too that Perryy, he's a level up on SolidSnake, and you can see he's just had such a big focus on farming. He's actually 30 CS up almost. So he has some good stats.
Oh, Stunt not having that tankiness, still goes in for the frontline engage. Here comes over the wall, Summit and Co to try to take down this TFBlade Olaf, but it's not going to be enough. Now Viper has extended himself over to the backline, trying to get the perfect execution, but can't do the damage. Can't do it. He goes down. It's going to be the Rift Herald completed for Conviction, but they sacrifice Viper.
I mean, not the worst trade, but I think Viper, you are punching the air right now. All he needed was to be allowed to press the R2. And you can see it on his face. He is not happy. At the end of it, though, Herald still worth a lot of value to be gained. Taking down some of those structures and Cody's.
Always, you got to be careful about the Yunara can just unleash in the moment, and especially for Ghost, who hasn't reached those stacks, hasn't gotten to the Smolder promised land. It's still going to be difficult to navigate. He is at 146, though, 16 minutes in. He's getting closer and closer.
Yeah, not too bad. You can kind of feel the effects of the pressure he's been under so far this game. Speaking of pressure,
I can try to dump behind TFBlade again. He does not have anything to get out of this one. And he will just be taken down by Winsome again, who gets his 3rd kill of the game.
Yeah. Really not much else to say. It kind of feels bad that Winsome is collecting these kills, but otherwise, getting TFBlade down is good. Perryy also collecting so much gold.
It's on the phone with the construction companies. And,
he's on the phone with the Loys.
Yeah, they have bought in for sure. TFBlade coming in though. Estral going to try to fight over this dragon. Would be second dragon for them. It looks like they're just going to be left to their own devices and be able to take that one down. We've seen trades back and forth of these objectives, and especially these dragons. It's going to be onward to the Ocean Soul for Estral.
Yeah, they don't have the setup needed. They're just going to let this go and instead focus on Ghost because he's still flashless. Oh, hold on.
Perryy finds himself on the wrong side of town, but he is Mundo. He goes where he pleases. Maybe not very far, though. Unfortunately, Perryy is just going to be ran down by Summit. Does get a lot of help from Viper, and Stunt coming around with the Unbreakable Will. Viper tries to use the back step over the wall to take him down, but can't do it. Does dodge out from Cody's Emperor's Divide, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to get away from the Tempered Fate. They don't have enough damage to follow it through, though. Ghost still just looking for some snacks here. Be able to find too much of it, and that got dicey very quickly.
But everyone's just going to walk away, go back to neutral there. The most important thing is that Ghost lives. So nice defense there from Estral, just allowing the Smolder to continue stacking, and also the team as a whole stacking great in a comp where you don't really expect to be able to.
All right, SolidSnake going to try to find TFBlade again. He will end up getting him before he can take down the turret too, so Summit gets the kill, and that will be the side lane being let loose for Estral's top lane.
Yes, Camille is a problem. Summit is going to have the run of the place in these 1v1s. 1v2s, if they're not careful, they have to deal with it somehow on the side of Conviction. But right now, you just got to make way.
And it's going to be really hard to deal with Camille in the side lane. Something we haven't talked too much about either. But the answers are not going to be as easy as it seems once he starts getting ahead as well. Definitely seems to be leaning that way for now, but something that Conviction will have to answer to. Feels like it might just have to be a multi-man attack if they are able to answer that push. But now the set being so, we do have kind of the lead fluctuating between the two comps, between the two teams. Estral in the lead right now. Ghost has now hit second item to match Cody Sun, but more importantly is at 180. He's getting closer and closer to that promised land that we talked so much about, and I think it's so important to highlight that into this comp that Conviction has. You need that execute, and they don't have it right now, and they don't have it in time. The Tempered Fate comes through. Summit somehow dodges out of it and is able to end up going down to Viper in the end anyways. So that will just be Conviction making a pounce play on the top side jungle.
Really nice one too, because it was a 4 versus 5. You can see TFBlade's on that bottom side of the map. No one's going to stop him from hitting that turret, and the more Conviction kind of jerk Estral around, it's just going to allow TFBlade to collect more farm. You can see he's ahead of Summit, and I think he's going to get this tier 2 as well.
Perryy is just being a menace, and Stunt takes away the blue buff there.
That's pretty funny.
That's actually really funny. And Stunt will
Jungle div.
just be annoying in the SolidSnake's jungle. That is some of the moments that lean out to Conviction that go back to that style of kind of hands checking people. Or trying to, at least, with some of their weird and wacky comps, but now they find themselves 1.5k in the lead, and they are running it straight into an Atacon, but Estral will be there to stop them.
And I like this pull. You're not really worried about Estral actually. Oh, it's not good.
You're worried about Cody Sun? He just got taken down by Ghost.
That is not good. There was a moment where Conviction could pull Estral around, but now losing their 80 carry means this Thornbound Otacon has just collected. No response to be had. The TP is about the fight afterward.
Cody Sun was what was keeping Ghost in check. It's going to be a 50-50. It goes the way of Estral. They steal it away, or at least take it away. Now SolidSnake goes in on the Viper. Viper has no health left. He is down. You have the fight coming through for the Ragnarocking TFBlade, and it is enough to get them the separation they needed. Now Summit and SolidSnake being ran down by Perryy, but he's able to get away for a moment. Not able to get away from the Hextech ultimatum. But now TFBlade has come around the corner, and he is swinging axes like a madman. It's going to be re-engaged from Summit. They get the CC chain. TFBlade trying to heal up from these auto attacks, but Stunt sets him up beautifully. A double kill for TFBlade.
You gotta love it. Knowing the limits, the members of Conviction, the two members who have been playing together, all split long, clutch that fight out, but still, you lose out on the Otacon. Estral got a really nice permanent buff as a result of it, but Conviction, they do still manage to push up to a 3k gold lead.
We're going to take a look right back at that replay. So topsy-turvy.
Yeah, I mean, so much was happening here. Viper died again, but this time around, this is the ideal situation. an assassin dying for the 80 carry. That's all that matters. If he can 1-for-1 for Smolder every fight until the end of this game, Conviction will win.
They will indeed, but it's this last second engage from Stunt that really ties a bow on it all.
Yeah, the fact that he was playing with his low health bar, I mean, you know you're getting walked down. So the fact that he went for it, you gotta love it. The experience, confidence, and Conviction have in spades. And it shows again and again.
But we've made it. It is 219 on Smolder. The Dragon seemingly going to be given over to Conviction, so it'll be 2 for 2 on the Dragon stacking, but Estral have hit their scaling mark. They're going to catch out Stunt, who's going to pop the Unbreakable. He still loses like 3/4 of his health instantly, and that's going to be the shutdown. Going to Summit. As now Winsome engaged on by Viper. They get the redemption coming through. Perry's trying to run at him, but Viper loses all of his health bar. He has to run away. Ghost has hit the promised land. He is executing. He already finds his first. The little dragon has grown into a mighty beast.
Yeah, big successful fight here. They're looking for a little bit more. Cody Sun still has the ult active, but they're very easily going to walk away from this one. No Baron yet for 2 minutes, so Conviction, they aren't going to lose too much off the back of that, but still, now that Ghost has hit that promised land, it's only a matter of time till you die in these team fights. You have to win them fast.
It's going to be all eyes on Cody Sun, how he navigates these as well. Oh, Ghost getting caught out on the back. Does have a decent amount of kiting ability on the little dragon. So he will make it out. The back will be delayed here, but there isn't anything to fight for a long time since we have been tied up 2-2 on the Dragons now as well. Still a consistent lead for Conviction, and I want to break down how these comps work because we've seen a lot of catch-out potential from Estral.
Yeah, really front to back, with the exception of Summit looking for an angle, is how Estral want to play this. And as long as you can make space for Ghost to make use of that passive, like, they're going to win. That's the whole point of Viper on these passes. He needs to get to the back.
Perryy needs to get his suit back on. Had it ripped off of him by Estral, and some of the value that some of these catch potentials have for Estral. They can absolutely just CC one target down and have Ghost come over top as the siege comes through now as well. They're going to try to catch him down. Perryy, he does not have the shield. He does not have any CC immunity, and he does not have the healing enough to stay away from Estral. That'll be a big pick. No jungle to speak of here, but they'll try to swoop away as much of these resources as they can.
Yeah, and 30 seconds away from the Baron too. If that play happened a little sooner, Estral would have gotten something massive. Even still, Summit on this Camille, just so much value this game. The true damage, so good into these tanks, into the Alistar, where it even gets through the damage reduction from his ultimate. So really, as long as Summit is able to participate in these fights, he's going to 1v9 his way to victory.
Kind of the dueling fates in that regard, though. You do have, if TFBlade is let loose, a really strong contingent to be able to take some of these fights. We saw it in one of the fights a little bit earlier, but Estral having taken back control of the lead in a pivotal game 5 where everything is on the line. You know the stress is building. It's mounting into these moments, and luckily it's been traded back and forth with the Dragons, but that just means that more pressure is going to come when these next ones come through. As 2 minutes away from that, the Baron is on the other side of the map as well, and it could just be an instant start from either side as Viper going in for the all-in play on the Cody and the bot side, trying to get him down. The public execution has been used. He's going for the kill anyways. Double flashes. Viper desperate. There's the Baron started, but Conviction, they're losing their health. They're in the pit with the Dragon, and he's going to be looking to execute them too. He gets engaged on. He gets taken down. That's a lot of the damage from Estral off the board. You do still have Summit though, and he's looking for that true damage. Stunt's going to give his life over for the kill. It won't go back Conviction's way, but the TP coming in. It's really late, and that's from Viper himself. They don't get the CC onto him as he comes in. They're going to take down the ward. Very dicey plays coming through, but still an advantage for Estral.
Yeah, though without the... Oh, hold on a second. Perryy... Okay. Without Ghost, Estral not in a position to go back and start this Baron just yet. Everyone has to go back to neutral, but you're seeing how much more difficult this game is getting for Conviction. You have so many threats to worry about and no way to really deal with them. Yeah, Viper, keeping Cody away from that fight means something, but you really want to be, again, trading for the Smolder. Or worst case, trading for the Azir. Just trying to limit the amount of damage they can actually do in these fights. But I think Smolder is so important that it's got to be Ghost.
And we've seen that if Conviction get the right angle, they do have the tools to take him out, to surgically remove him from the team comp of Estral. It's all about execution. And now speaking of, Cody Sun, it's engaged on. SolidSnake can't follow through, but Summit absolutely can. It's an alley-oop. As now they get Estral with a double kill for Ghost as he takes down the healthy Perryy. And now Conviction, they're looking backs against the walls here. The second seed from NACL. They're losing bodies left and right at Estral. They're making good on the promises that this roster put together at the beginning of this split. They're looking for permanent damage on the Conviction's base.
Yeah, and that's going to be a mid inhibitor, but they know they can't push for the end just yet. They want to try and take this Baron. They have the Azir. They have Ghost on his way. So now this Baron is how Estral are going to put the closing touches on this game.
And a team that had so many doubts behind them after losing twice to SDM, wondering what the hell happened. Even the owner of Estral saying, where was the want to win? Well, it's point and present today, Beatdown.
That's right. Estral wanted it. They're playing for it, and they are just minutes away from making it happen, qualifying their way to play against DSG, who are trying to defend their spot in the double elimination bracket.
Subs be damned, roster changes be damned, Conviction. They're trying to put up one last gasp effort. There's still a talking point of this being just so point for Estral. And I don't know if you want to keep letting them stack and scale and keep going. It's hits on a 2, and that just should be it. Absolutely death-defying is Ghost. The literal world champion from Dawan Tia has come back for a vengeance and come back for his name. A quadra kill for Ghost and the signaling of the end for Conviction's long year.
And Conviction has run out of gas. Mazel, Estral are taking them out, and they're going to move to that tournament tomorrow.
The super team will be super. They move on to face DSG and eliminate Conviction from the LTA North 2026 promotion tournament. They have earned their right to sit among the hierarchy.
And they have another chance to prove that this roster build was worth it, because the focus, again, it was promotion into the LCS next year, and losing here today would be an unfathomable disappointment. So big ups to them for being able to win, and they got a few more steps to go before they realize that potential they're hoping for.
They do indeed, and what a way to do it. There were